Yo, what is up, guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys. And as you can see, I'm back home. I'm back in LA, guys. And it is my final day off, guys. But before I head into work, guys, I'm going to talk about the latest Christian Dior fragrance, actually part of a lineup that MFK did for Christian Dior. And this is a unique spin on one of their most beloved Christian Dior Privé fragrances, guys. So if you saw the thumbnail, you know what's coming up, guys. Can't wait to talk about it. Let's go. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys, okay? Liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel, especially that we are headed towards 23,000 subscribers, guys. So please continue all your support. A lot of the revenue that comes in this channel goes into buying a lot of the samples and decants, especially expensive decants like this one right here. So please continue all your support, guys. That's all I ask. Thank you very much. And the fragrance that we'll be talking about today is none other than Christian Dior Ambre Nuit Esprit De Parfum. Yes, Ambre Nuit Esprit De Parfum, guys. All right, I'm probably the first one to talk about this on YouTube, probably because there are no free bottles to be given away. All right. And also, the bottle itself is pretty expensive. And I do want to name drop where I got this from. I got this from David Sanchez, one of the best decanters in the game, guys. And if I would categorize where David is at, he's an aggressive decanter, which means even if, you know, there's a really expensive Roja exclusive or a Harrods exclusive, he's still going to go for it. Because with a lot of decanters, it's still a business. And, you know, if you get into the decanting business, you'll find out that some people will play safe and will go with the more sellable types of perfumes. But this one is absolutely unknown in what it will be, but still, he went for it, guys. So if you are wanting to get a sample of Ambre Nuit Esprit De Parfum and the other Esprit De Parfums, definitely hit up David Sanchez. Okay, so what is the deal with this fragrance right here? What is up with Esprit De Parfum? All right, so as y'all know, Francis Kurkdjian has taken over Dior. All right, and he is now kind of reimagining these classics, these Dior Privé classics that we hold true to our hearts. All right, we have a lot of core scent memories with these fragrances, and basically he created kind of like an extrait line for these classics like Ambre Nuit, Gris Dior, Oud Ispahan. These fragrances are, again, very well beloved in the community, guys. A lot of people love them. And just as proof of the interest on this, guys, I want to show you guys the bottle of David. You know, he sent me a photo of where the bottle is at of his Ambre Nuit Esprit De Parfum. And as you can see, this is the one that a lot of people ordered from him. And I can already see that there's going to be a lot of sales. Very similar type of interest here with Ambre Nuit Esprit De Parfum, because Ambre Nuit is a classic. Some people are calling it a masterpiece, a classic amber scent, guys. And again, later on, I will discuss the differences between the OG and this one, guys. Anyways, of course, I'm going to give you guys a full breakdown on this, what this exactly smells, what can you expect, especially that there are some hidden notes here, guys. And is it worth looking into or even buying full bottle? All right, so let's go spray this thing right now. Okay, guys, now let's talk about this fragrance right here, Christian Dior's Ambre Nuit Esprit De Parfum, guys. This opening, whoo! Wow, what an opening. All right, for an amber fragrance, what an opening, guys. And right here in the opening, like I said, there are going to be some hidden notes or some early notes here that, you know, I'll give you guys what I think is here. Now, right here in the opening, to me, there's labdanum, there's resins, there's cinnamon, and there's cardamom. All right, and all of these are very, very likable notes, all right, when it comes to fall winter fragrances. So that's not an issue. But the issue here, in my opinion, is going to be with the labdanum and the resins. The labdanum is going to be kind of slightly medicinal, resinous, ambery, kind of honey-like, as you know, as you can expect. But on first spray of this fragrance, guys, if you are a fragrance head, the immediate impression you'll get is the similarity of this fragrance with Grand Soir. Okay, Grand Soir from MFK. Almost exactly the same type of labdanum. I think Grand Soir had Spanish labdanum, and same execution. Kind of, you can say, mature-ish, guys, but not as mature as how Grand Soir did it, okay? But definitely labdanum here is a big, big deal. Plus the resins here in the opening of this fragrance. Now, the spices of this fragrance, these are the ones that pull it back to, you can say, mainstream territory, or kind of modern territory, or you can say even kind of youthful territory. Because the thing about Grand Soir is, you know, some people actually consider it kind of grandma-ish, grandpa-ish. And I'm going to kind of validate that, because there is somewhat of a mature, complex blend in Grand Soir that smells kind of old. All right. And that's just how it is. Some people really, it flies above the radar that it's kind of like that, but some people do acknowledge it. And here you get a little bit of that, not totally that, because you have, you know, the spices also dominating the airspace, really, you know, getting your nose, the attention of your nose as you're smelling this fragrance. And as you know, cinnamon is a lovely draw-in spicy note that a lot of people love, sweet spicy. And then you also have cardamom, which has a little bit of greenness. And the cardamom here in this opening is actually the booster. This is the one that boosts the sillage, in my opinion, on top of the very intense amber that does come in, guys. All right, so it's going to be amber, cardamom in terms of the projection, and then of course you got cinnamon as the draw-in. But nevertheless, like I said, anyone that's ever tried fragrances, you know, really like a fragrance head, will get to smell this one and will say, okay, it is kind of like Grand Soir. Francis Kurkdjian definitely took a page from one of his classics right here. Now, another thing that's great about this fragrance is the initial sillage and projection. Actually, the performance overall of this fragrance. This one was actually strong, all right? And there's an oomph in this, if you know what I mean, guys. And again, that's because of a more intense amber, stronger amber here in this fragrance, guys, that really goes through and through, as well as the cardamom that comes with it, guys, all right? So there is a nice sillage. I would even say it's an aura scent, but I was quite surprised, because usually curve notes, gradient notes, ambery notes, they're not really meant to be strong. You know, they're supposed to be like moderate, guys. But this one right here, I gotta say, very strong performance right off the bat, really ready for that fall winter season right here. And with that being said, I'm gonna validate the claims out there that this has nothing to do with the OG Ambre Nuit. And that really makes sense, because Ambre Nuit is, to me, a lighter, more, you know, you can even say fresher and easier to wear fragrance, all right? Ambre Nuit is definitely versatile, easy to understand, and that's why it is a masterpiece to many, just because it's pretty simple. I mean, actually, it's really nice because the original Ambre Nuit utilizes bergamot, grapefruit, you got some citruses in the beginning, and even when the rose does pop in, it's actually a powdery, well-blended rose with some spices, and then you have your classic inoffensive amber, you know, in Ambre Nuit. And to me, Ambre Nuit slightly leans femme, although some guys actually like it. I think it's unisex, but it's more, to me, like a femme type of fragrance. But it is light and easy to wear. This is a big contrast to that, because this is darker, guys. All right, Grand Soir, this is darker, more powerful, richer, more mature. It's really not like the OG Ambre Nuit, although it uses amber. This labdanum here, like I said, it has that, you know, slight medicinal, mature smell that Grand Soir has. And it's definitely, you know, deeper and richer with resins. So definitely different compared to the OG. Okay, now let's go into the mid of Ambre Nuit Esprit De Parfum. And again, Dior doesn't show much for you guys. It just says spicy notes, all right? But right here in the mid, I really believe that this fragrance, you can say, really confirms what it's for, which is a darker, richer, real elegant nighttime powerful type of amber fragrance, because right here in the mid, not only do you get a continuation of amber, I believe that there's some benzoin in here, but you also still get the continuation of spices. I believe there is pink pepper here, and for those that missed the rose, that's kind of like the consolation prize is the pink peppercorn. All right, it's kind of like rosy in its nuance, but it's still a spice, and you can get the pink pepper here in the mid of Ambre Nuit Esprit De Parfum. Now, in the mid of this fragrance, there are some notes that I suspect are here that are not on paper. Like I said, Dior is pretty ambiguous about the notes of this fragrance. But right here in the mid, I do detect some Gaiac wood as well as some vanilla. All right, and these are very important notes on the progression of this fragrance, and I don't want you guys to think that's simply just spices here in the mid of this fragrance. In my opinion, Gaiac wood, it does provide a deep smoky woods type of aura here in the mid. I mean, you can say almost incensey, but not, because the amber already provides kind of like the sweetness right there, almost like an incense effect. That is something that the Gaiac wood gives right here. Very similar to the ending of Grand Soir. Also in the mid right here, I would say that the balancer from all these darker notes is going to be your powdery vanilla. That's right. You're going to get some powdery vanilla really as a replacement from the powdery rose. Again, the rosy aspects is going to be from the pink peppercorn, but nevertheless, you're going to get a reveal, a slow reveal of a powdery vanilla note here in this fragrance. Again, boosts that performance even stronger. Like I said, it's got consistent sillage, and I would say a big part of it is going to be because of this powdery vanilla note here in the mid of this fragrance. But again, what I will say about this mid is that that deep, dark, rich continuum is here in this mid, all right? And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some leather as well that continues from the labdanum. It's very, you could say, rich, dark, powerful, and I would say masculine in this sense, really compared to the OG, which is light and lovable and easy to wear. This is a totally different beast. And finally, on the dry down of this fragrance, this is when you will get that soft amber accord, okay? It's basically soft amber, honeyed amber, as well as some gradient musks, all right? And I would say that the amber on the dry down from 6 to 7 hours forward is the one that is similar to the amber of the OG Ambre Nuit. The OG amber that's kind of like easy and soft and light. This is the same stuff you'll get, well, pretty much at the ending of this fragrance past 6 hours. That is the dry down, guys, all right? But nevertheless, really the impact is going to be at the start to mid of this fragrance. Very, very impactful. Now, definitely, I do have a lot to say regarding this fragrance, guys. I am not the type to just simply hate on a fragrance because it is expensive and unattainable. Again, I have my own means to test these things fairly. And I gotta say that this is actually a lovely scent. But, of course, the big problem that you'll get is redundancy with Grand Soir. Okay, it's definitely redundant compared to that. And Grand Soir, again, is, you could say, more mature, more grandma, grandpa-ish than this one. This one is probably a more fine-tuned modern one compared to Grand Soir, but nevertheless, it will still have the signature facets of Grand Soir. I mean, that's no surprise. It's Francis Kurkdjian, guys. And of course, the thing with Grand Soir is that you can get it anywhere through partials. And, you know, if you're really trying to save money, you can get partials, you can get testers, you can get it from the gray market, you can get it on discount. Everyone, I mean, really everyone in the fragrance community that buys a top 10 like fall winter fragrance will probably have this in their collection. And so when it comes to like costing, definitely I'm gonna say that Grand Soir is the winner. You'll get it definitely way cheaper than this. However, I feel there is a difference with the usage, all right? Grand Soir, with its beautiful medicinal labdanum and the resins, right? I really feel is a special occasions perfume. All right. It's a very special occasions type of perfume. It's something that I would wear in a banquet, in a gala, maybe even on a wedding, something like that. I mean, cold, fall, winter, right? But this one right here, like I said, with the spices pulling it back, with the pink pepper in here as well, with some vanilla, some smokiness, some darkness, some leather maybe. I gotta say that this one right here is for the power players. And if you're not a power player, you probably won't understand this. But this is for someone that really commands power, wields power, commands power, has the presence of somebody powerful. Because this one right here is not a like me perfume, you know, like me, compliment me, okay? I'm easy to like. It's really not like that at all. This one is deep, rich, and powerful. And again, to me, maybe a dictator would wear this, or somebody with some sort of position, you know, and it does wield a lot of power. And it's something that can be worn like nighttime, elegant occasions. It is, you can even say, somewhat standoffish with its smokiness, the leatheriness of this fragrance. This is, again, something that a CEO that says, hey, you don't have to like me, dude. You work for me, you know, would actually wear to some nighttime corporation gala. Or even, you know, closed door, private meetings or private rooms in Michelin star restaurants. Definitely this has elegance, but it has a very powerful identity. You know, somewhat of a you don't have to like me identity. That's what this carries. And because of the abundance of spices here, the smokiness, like I said, it's quite different from Grand Soir in a bit. Because Grand Soir, I feel, is more celebratory, classy, expensive, versus this one, which is, I'm it, you know, I'm a powerful person type of aura here in this scent right here. Okay, now total performance right here of this fragrance is over 12 hours. And I do want to state how wonderful the performance is on this fragrance, guys. All right, projects very nice and sticks very long. Consistent, strong, lingering sillage past 12 hours. So they did their job right here when they put Extrait de Parfum, Esprit De Parfum. They really meant it, not like the one I reviewed, Neroli Portofino Extrait. That was horrible, all right, on performance. This one right here is definitely a performer. You will not have any problems on performance. Okay, now finally, let's talk about the cost of this fragrance. Is it worth a full bottle, guys? All right. First and foremost, this fragrance is not cheap. $420 for 80 ml. At least it's 80 ml. We're kind of near 100 ml here, guys. All right. And, you know, this fragrance is expected to be expensive because the Privé line was already expensive. And this is the upgrade from that. All right, so it is a little bit more expensive. And again, no free bottles are given away. But anyways, I got to say that this is full bottle worthy. But you must test this. You must hit up David and probably try one of these just so you can see what I'm talking about. And maybe even match that with a decant or your Grand Soir bottle. Okay, just like mix and match to see if this is actually worth plunking $400 for. All right, but if money is not an issue to you and you are really a fan of Ambre Nuit, I would say keep the Ambre Nuit. Get your own OG for the light, easy to grab moments, you know, casual grab moments, easy to understand. You know, you'll get the compliments from the OG. This is going to be your aura of power, standoffish type of perfume, enigmatic, you know, nighttime version of that. So don't look for any similarity or continuity between this and the OG. This is its own beast. But again, probably closer to Grand Soir. You know, probably a close stepbrother, stepsister to Grand Soir right here, guys. All right. And that is it. That is my no hype review on Christian Dior's latest Ambre Nuit Esprit De Parfum. I got Eau d'Ispahan next, guys. And I will get Gris Dior because Gris Dior or Gris Charnel was actually, you know, close to my heart in terms of scent memories. All right, I'm going to get that too, guys. And again, David Sanchez is the guy to hit up for decants of this. I'll link his Facebook below. Again, I purchased this from him, but I really believe that this guy's doing the right thing by really going aggressive on these rare and expensive fragrances. So he's the guy to hit up. Again, thank you, David, for shipping this very, very quick. And that is it, guys. I'll see you guys next week for another slew of videos. Got a lot of exciting ones coming up. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. God bless. Take care. Peace.